The infamous Fast and the Furious trilogy has gone from a basic, low-budget, inoffensive robbery and drag racing film to a behemoth of set-piece hijinks rivaling other blockbusters such as Disney's Avengers films. It is a franchise that managed to become a million-dollar business without an origin from a book, comic, or other series. The worth of each movie is hit or miss, with reviewers often finding it a miss. Somehow, the general public continues to applaud the series. It's an endearing series that utilizes a misfit matchup and loud stunts to tantalize the audiences. Most, if not all, the physics-defying car stunts in the current Fast 9 film entertain, regardless of the thin plot and loose reused themes on family bonds. The Fast and the Furious series can't drive, or a character that is eating every other scene cause their callback to the second movie are welcome since they flesh out the otherwise cardboard characters. There's so many characters in this growing family that it's hard to focus on them when larger actors are trying to share the screen. So it's a good thing this time around that characters like The Rock are excluded. Instead of a comprehensive plot arc, the film will leave many fans with the impression that it's laying the groundwork for a more meaningful sequel down the road. Plenty of plot beats are obvious and telegraphed. Without spoiling it, we all know the tempo of the family theme in the Fast and the Furious movies, so you can't expect that to be a big deal when Dom, the main character, and his brother interact. That's not to say there aren't a few surprising twists, since the narrative is a bit more satisfying this time around. Keeping the action grounded to the cars kept everything tactile. Even when doing outrageous feats, it has a much more toned-down atmosphere, making it feel more like a Fast and Furious movie and not the spy thriller 007-like film Fast 8 felt like, with people driving out of missile explosions or submarines. You can tell more time is used to make the story when the action to go with it, instead of always writing the set pieces and hoping the story can flow to each as they go along. It's a minor change, but works to enhance the movie's feel. The action among the chaos is well filmed, with minimal cuts during fighting. More attempts to mix the script with the action allows for genuine plot and set pieces to bleed into each other. For example, the madness in Act 1 used later to great effects for impossible stunts later. Don't ask me how, but even a ridiculous scene in the final act gets explained and telegraphed enough to have you on board even though it seems impossible. Not to mention that the way the characters hand-wave all the issues in the ending. Some action caters to fans who keep asking for more crazy stunts with cars, and that's a charming report that you have to respect. You're still getting every action scene from watching the trailers, but you cannot help but admire the work taken to make all of them interesting spectacles. This time around, more action is in bright locations with wide shots to frame each scene. It's a visual feast as it demands seeing the action on a larger screen, with music and sound effects boost the adrenaline of each dynamic set piece. Furthermore, the music is a stylish spectacle with a smorgasbord of locals visited. It's a great way to showcase the beauty of different snippets of the world. Wrapping the movie into a tight bow, you have some hit or miss jokes. The actors all seem like close friends, and even when the dialogue can get a bit shaky, when you're not ad-libbing, the chemistry shines throughout. This is a series is one of the few blockbusters always focused on having a large diverse cast, far beyond any adding one minority from a specific group. It comes off like a genuine take on those parodied college acceptance pictures with friends from all walks of life hanging out. It's a nice quality since it drives home the idea of family and anyone invited to this cookout of misfits who are friends always along for the ride. The villain and plot aren't going to impress a non-fan, and you're not only along for the ride for set piece. Future movies should spend time making villains more likable without forcing them to join the Fast and the Furious family once they are likable. The primary overarching villain is still not as appealing as you'd like, given their prevalence in other movies. The structure of a mini-boss, disposable foot soldiers for action, and a trope-heavy final action scene is starting to wane thin for many, but those willing to play along should have a better time with the film than ever before. Throughout the film, time gets spent with a soap opera-like main plot that is not as engaging as the movie wants you to believe. I could still recommend this movie for people who aren't fans because of how easy it is to watch on its own. It has a breakneck pace, likable characters, and gives a chance for every character to shine in this large cast. The main plot can somewhat become boring since it's pulled and inserted for this movie without feeling authentic to the prior film's tone. These movies work best when they aren't serious, but aren't rushing straight into lazy camp. It's a difficult balance act that the spin-off Hobbs and Shaw couldn't manage. The movie knows this isn't perfect, and they point out the hilarity and implausibility of events. This is one of the better Fast and the Furious movies and continues the trend that fans enjoy, though don't come in hoping for something shocking and different. It's still simple and about being aggressive in speedy cars, ignoring all signs that physics and realism exist. I'd give it a 70%.